This is a remake of a video I made a while ago that was on a channel that was torn down for probably completely unrelated reasons. Marcus the Servant King, Unraveled Confusion Programs. A Google Docs 23 transcript archive that I made in 2020. The individual we're talking about posted his work as videos that were text on a screen and various presentations while he talked for hours at a time. However, to save some of us our sanity, he really did take the text from his presentations and just put them up as web pages. This is a habit I have. Thing is, I'm not charging you for it. And now you can read these if you wish. He released them publicly, and at one point he declared them to be free for technical or spiritual or academic reference, and then tried to take them down so they couldn't be, which is fine. But they were archived, mysteriously. 44 web pages, 24 videos, 7 years, archived. So you can just read this stuff and not have to sit through it all. A French-Canadian Ontario YouTuber, speaking slowly in a monotone, reading slide after slide of a PowerPoint script that you're looking at on the screen so you don't need him to talk. Something you're watching, he's reading to you. Hours on end. Conspiracy wisdom instruction, washing away dissenting opinions, unbelievers' attentions, and running them off. Anybody who would disagree would have to wade through hours and hours of video. Or just read the transcripts he stupidly put up to where a person could go through and pick them apart. It's not something you wanted to have happen, so let's hear about his history and where this comes from. Buckle up. 2007, he said he was disbarred. Then he said that he died and was resurrected. Or he wanted to be declared legally dead so he wouldn't have to pay some bill or something. This will be a pattern. 2013, April 10th, a website called The Servant King went up. He put it up. And at the time, again, part of the archives and part of his own public disclosure, he acknowledged who he was. 2013, April 21st. First posting is a series of 9 videos and transcripts for people to read along with, so we could put them into the transcript for the video too, because that was the thing that could be done at the time. New thing. Confusion programs. Claims made during this series and others. A baby is a newborn Babylonian. If you're a member of any country, you're a pagan. Because reasons. Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? Oh, you have to sit through 16 hours of him PowerPointing to death. All rise, this court is now in session. We know what that means, but he's decided that it's resurrection of the dead. And then because he's made that decision, judges are necromancers. And you practice this necromancy or raising of the dead every time you appear in court, even though that doesn't make any sense and that's not what the wording is for. Then he claimed all licensed attorneys are guilty of treason because the licensing is treasonous. Remember, he was disbarred as an attorney, he said. It should also be pointed out that he ran a falconry location where he eventually killed all the falcons and buried them in a heap. He also grew pot when it was legal, but still got arrested for something, supposedly involving said legal material. Don't know what's up with that. 2013, November 9th, the Unraveled Programs. A new series of 13 videos were put up. It will be helpful for you to write down points you can see are absolutely true, and also contrary to what you currently do or think, because you have to change your behavior. He took all but the first video down in 2015 for each of the series, acting as a teaser now. Took everything off the web. Said the Unraveled programs will not be released into the public domain. They were already up, though. So the archives were there, and so were their transcripts, and so were their descriptions, which included all the data. So you didn't have to watch his channel, which is the reason he took it down. I will not release these into the public domain, but due to the rules about academia, he had in effect done so with the text, because he stated so overtly in a couple of them. Actually, all of them. And said so verbally. When he caught himself doing that, he took down the videos because it meant that he couldn't legally get away with suing people for copyright violations. I will decide soon what your investment should be. That's the gimme money thing. How to present the Unraveled programs. And before I do, I need to know the interest out there for these programs exists. So after they were up, legit, for over, let's say, at a minimum 2 years. It's longer than that. Let's say 2 years. About 2 years. His website had a copy in text mode. It had already been cached, archived, talked about, freely discussed. He tried to get people to watch videos that were droning on, which normally numbs the mind and runs off non-believers, so you get a group of people who will give you money. He found out it wasn't working well enough, so he decided to just flat out charge for it. 2015, he then re-uploaded all the videos just before Christmas. How very nice of him. July is when he took them all down, same year. So it took him a few months to realize it wasn't going to do any good. Nothing numbs the mind more than hours and hours of text and droning on, as some of you are experiencing now while you're yawning, and I'm lulling you into a false sense of gimme money. So let's review. He was arrested and declared potentially or actually a felon at one point or another. I'm sure that's all bullshit now. He was running a falconry location. Oh, and he also stylized the area at one time as a big castle. There's a bunch of news stories that keep getting removed from the internet. Archives below in the description. Unraveled Programs transcripts. I list them as 0 through 14. And there's a video 14 of 14, but it's really hard to list them correctly in any real order because they're labeled one thing and then they have another name, so we didn't keep them organized. Confusion programs are 1 through 8 and then a 0, which is the first video. All the transcript data is there. He worked up a transcript, created a PowerPoint, which is basically just text on a screen with maybe some pictures, and he made videos. And he would just read what you were already reading on the screen, make it take as long as possible, and bore the hell out of anybody who wanted him to get to the point and explain something. And I just gave you a couple of real simple samples of it. You can also look under webarchive.org and archive.today or whatever it is today, looking up servantking.info, and look up all of the file data. Everything he ever posted, it's confirmed there. A lot of the stuff was stored under PowerPoint files or Word files or RTF files. RTF and Word files in this case really were just set up as just text files. They're just glorified text files. And he put up this as a listing. If you would like to help translate these into other languages, blah, blah, blah. He invited people to come through, use the information, and make it more available to more people. But when it didn't make him any damn money, he decided to take it all down, hide it all, and claim that it was no longer public domain and or not for academic use. I rescind. Well, that doesn't work. Because I can just say, here's my Google Docs 23 transcript archive of me reinterpolating the archive.org versions. Because the archive.org versions were in RTF and or doc file, Word file format, and had interesting line breaks and stuff stuck in them. So I converted it over to the dark side, pure text, and also put them up as Google Docs raw to make them more available. He intended for them to be available for a 2-year period of time or more, and only took them down when he found out that he couldn't make any money trying to become a guru, which is what he is. He also invokes the Emerald Tablet and dozens of other things. I think it just skips all over the place. He claims to be a good worker and a good source of data, etc. And he was suggested to me a long time ago by someone who wanted me to believe something and join his group Anybody out there who wants to present something and does it the way he did isn't doing anything wrong. That's why I think you should read it. I'm not kidding. If you've actually looked him up, read what he actually put out. You don't have to sit there in such a way that it benefits him. He originally put this out selflessly. At least he said he was. And if he's making that assertion, I'm holding him to it. That and the fact that he can't make it go away. It's archived. I should point out that the time and date stamps will be coincidental to the first time I put out the video because he still hadn't erased everything yet. It kind of has an effect if you put something out there and put up a copyright thing on it and don't understand. I'm in the country where we're allowed to academically critique, and that includes being able to make full backup copies and use them for reference, but not sell them. And you can contact archive.org and Archive Today and say, I want you to delete these references and links. They're right below in the description. He can shoot them down one at a time. All he has to prove is it's his work. He didn't put a copyright symbol on any of it, and it wasn't born copyright because of the way the laws work concerning this, but he can do that. But taking down my video is not going to legally work. I don't have any content from it other than the names of the series and the ability to go read the stuff he posted publicly. And that's also done by archive.org. The one with the most effect on it must be gone after first. You don't go after the little guys first in America, and also in Canada, apparently. And again, pointing out that basically he was running a pot farm. He ran a ranch full of falcons and eventually killed all of them under really questionable circumstances, and both of these things caused the police to show up and ask him what the hell's going on. That's not stuff that he wants to talk about, so we shouldn't ask him. Anyway, this individual got thrown in my face along with all of his videos. I don't even know if his channel's up anymore. He's running a bunch of stuff, trying to get money out of it, and it's basically fairy tales. But hey, like a lot of people, he's learned the art of misinterpreting plain English into something weird. Like saying an attorney is guilty of treason because he got kicked out of the organization because he was disbarred. Do you know how hard it is to get disbarred? I'd love to look up his disbarment hearing and find out what happened. Couldn't find that anywhere. Lawyers. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Oh, and Marcus, if you're watching, all you have to do is kindly ask me to take down the video. Don't threaten or attack this time. Not that you had anything to do with the previous channels.